What's up, guys? It's your local realized man checking in once again, and it is hot as hell in today's Sydney temperature in the realized car right now. But we're gonna get on with the video. Let's talk about NLP, get deeper into the series. I'll give you some tools that you can actually use today, take away with, and pretty much start changing your life as soon as possible, man. So let's talk about modalities. Modalities is a fancy way of explaining the 5 senses, right? A lot of NLP people talk about modalities. Basically, your 5 senses: visual, what you see; auditory, what you hear; kinesthetic, what you touch; taste, smell. Those last 2 have cool words as well, but I can't remember what exactly the proper term is for those. Those are your 5 senses. You paint your life's canvas with these senses. You wouldn't experience life if you didn't have these senses as a whole. They create your experience. So different people have a bigger emphasis on different modalities. The 2 main ones that people usually have an emphasis on are visual and auditory, right? We tend to remember things we see and remember things we hear. But other people also emphasize touch, smell, and taste. You might know someone who, whenever they smell a certain aroma, it takes them back to fond childhood memories, or whenever they taste something, it takes them back to a location. As soon as they taste it, the juicy steak or whatever it is they're eating, they go right back to the first time they had it or memories of their family. Different people have different emphasis, and you can kind of tell which one you emphasize on often by the words you use in conversation. So if someone's talking to someone and they say, "I hear you clearly, man," chances are they're auditory type person. Or if the same person is talking and they say, "I see where you're coming from," chances are they're a visual type person. So the words you use can also kind of give you a hint at which modality you favor. Going deeper now, each modality has sub-modalities, right? Which is breaking down the modality into its constituents that make up the experience. So sub-modality of vision, or your visual modality, is, brightness, or dimness, black and white, color, distortion, all these things, they make up the quality of vision. Same thing with audio: high pitch, low pitch, distorted, loud, silent. They make up audio. So each modality has sub-modalities that make up the modality. And when we recall memories or when we have thoughts, it's often in a particular arrangement of different modalities depending on how we associate ourselves with that thought. So if it's a fond thought, a thought that is a happy thought, it's going to be very different to a thought that is a sad thought or a bad thought. Let's do an exercise, right? This is a common exercise that a lot of these NLP gurus and whatever do. I want you to remember one of your fondest memories. It could be a birthday party. It could be the day you asked your wife to marry you and she said yes. Just remember one of your fondest memories, right? And just remember it vividly. Try to remember exactly what happened. Now pay attention. Are you seeing that thought in the first person or the third person? Are the colors bright or dim? What are you hearing? Are you hearing loud voices, silent voices? Can you remember anything you touched, smelt? Pay attention to all these modalities, sub-modalities, right? Pay very close attention to them and keep note. Now let's do the opposite. I want you to remember one of the worst days in your life, a day where everything went wrong and it just was incredibly depressing. Is that first, third person? Is it bright? Is it dark? Are you remembering any particular smells? What you notice is your recollection of the memory is going to be different depending on if it was a happy thought or a sad thought. And this is powerful because what you realize is our brains change how we see things depending on how we feel about them. So this might be the very first time in your life when you've actually sat down and really consciously broken down a thought or broken down a memory, broken down what exactly is going on, right? And this is a powerful exercise that you can use daily. So each time you recall something, or each time you're looking forward into the future and you have a thought, break it down into its modalities and pay attention. And pay attention to which common ones you have. Pay attention to the nature of them. You notice that they're all different, but you might notice common trends. This is powerful because once you know these common trends and once you notice which ones are disempowering, you can consciously change them. You can consciously go back to that memory and put up the dot brightness to make it happier, right? You can consciously change the modalities to change how you feel about memories, to change how you feel about certain things that you have to do. And this is one of the basic premises of NLP, the fact that we can actually change our experience by first changing our thoughts consciously. Human beings are very powerful in the sense that our brains can influence things, right? It's not like animals where you're just reacting, you see something, you run or whatever. We have the power to influence things consciously. And it's time for you to start actively doing it. So some things you can experiment with. If you have something that you dread, right? A memory that you dread, perhaps like a common one for a lot of guys is a rejection from a girl that they had a crush on, right? Think back to a memory. Now play some Gucci Mane over it, right? Play some music over it. Play some Future Hendrix. Play some John Lennon. Play some music over it and see how that changes your experience with that memory, right? Play some goofy music over it. Increase the brightness, decrease the brightness. See yourself in the third person, see yourself in the first person, put a frame on it. It's all these little variables that we can do to change memories, and they change the experience themselves. Don't take my word for it. Try yourself. Just go out throughout the day. First of all, your first task is to go out throughout the day. Don't try to change anything. Just try to pick up on what modalities you have when you're remembering things and when you have thoughts. Do that for a week or so. Just pick up on how you remember things. When you hear the voice in your head, do you hear it from this direction, that direction? Small things like that. You're going to become more intimate with the experience of living. I want you to be more mindful with your brain, because once we observe the brain, once we observe the thought process, the memory process, that's when we can start to reverse engineer. That's when we can start to consciously choose our states, our moods, our emotions. It's very powerful stuff, but it takes training, guys, and you have to experience it yourself. It sounds like a lot of bullshit. Sounds like a lot of fluff, but trust me, when you actually do it, once you got a bit of experience with it, it's going to change your life. So that's the video for today, guys. Modalities, sub-modalities. Play around with them. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment down below. And we're going to go deeper into it, baby. Next video. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Peace. I know what you're thinking. That's a damn good end screen. And you're right. And also, if you subscribe to the videos, make sure to click post notifications so that you can see more of these end screens in your news feed, because YouTube's not going to show them any other way. Yeah, thanks.